I don't care about clicks or subscribers or likes. I'm not going to play for the algorithm here. I'm going to pause. I'll speak fast when it feels right. I'm not going to edit any of this. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for me. If you watch, great. And if your time's better spent elsewhere, no problem. No skin off my nose. This is unfiltered, personal, and a diary of sorts. And I'm doing this because I need to hold myself to account. I'm running out of time. I've been a type 1 diabetic for more than 45 years. I've lost count. It's a long time. Most of that time, I didn't control my condition very well. I'm doing better now, but who knows? Who knows how long we've got? I have a compulsion to create, and I have a tendency to procrastinate, and I have to fix that. You might think that ridiculous given how much I've produced over the years, and when I look back, it is a crazy amount. But we don't forget the bad stuff. We only forget the good stuff. And of course, there are good biological reasons why we do that. It's for our survival, it's how we've evolved. But I have no record of so much of the work that I've done. And this is my way of putting a struggle, even if it's short-lived, on the record. Now, yesterday I said something about a punch, just punching. Some of you might be wondering what on earth I'm talking about. Well, I'm talking about the famous Bruce Lee quote, where he said, when I started the art, a punch was just a punch, and a kick was just a kick. And when I became a student, a punch was no longer a punch, a kick no longer a kick. Now that I've mastered the art, a punch is a punch, and a kick is just a kick. Now, I'm not saying I've mastered the art of video games, because despite what, next year it'll be 40 years in the industry, I've not come close to mastering anything. And I think there is a benefit to approaching what I'm doing with a sense of beginner's mind. And that's what I want to do. I want to forget all of the lessons I've learned. I want to shut out all of the noise. I want to set aside the burden of expectation, of the correct approach, of doing things by the book, of having learned my lessons, because all of that should be a part of who I am by now. And if not now at 55, it will never be a part of me. So the time has come to express. And video games is my medium. Yes, I do music. Yes, I do podcasts. Yes, I've written a children's book. I've done a lot of stuff. But video games is my profession. Video games is my medium. There is a lot that has not been said, and I want to say some of it. Even if what comes out is something nobody gets, nobody likes, nobody buys. I'm not doing this for the clicks, and I'm not doing this for people to buy the end result. I'm doing this because I have to. I'll explore why I have to in future videos, maybe, but no promises, eh? No commitment from me, and I don't expect any from you. So I guess you want to know why, despite all my advice to the contrary, I'm using a different engine to the one I'm already competent in. And just in case you're wondering, the engine I'm competent in is Unity 3D, which is an excellent engine. But I want to use Godot engine because using something completely different and unfamiliar will force me to use patterns and approaches that I haven't used. It will force me to set aside all of the things that I know in order to, if not embrace, then certainly be provoked by new patterns, new ideas, new ways of thinking. I like that it's open source, it's free to use. I like that there are no license restrictions, so I can run this lightweight thing on any machine that I have. And it's approachable. I like it. You know, there's a nice community building around it. It's coherent. I like the way the whole thing is consistent. I like the way that everything's a node. It's nice. I like that. I like consistency. My programmer brain likes consistency. And also I like the look of GD script because it's very Python-like, and I love Python. Why am I using Pandora as a jumping off point? And if you don't know what Pandora is, I'll link it in the description below. I'm supposed to do this, aren't I? But no, I'm not going to do that. I've done it. Too late. No edits. I love sci-fi. I've always loved sci-fi. Pandora was my attempt to do a sci-fi game. I worked on Pandora with my friend David Eastman, who'd helped me in the last couple of weeks of Chimera back in 1985. We get on really well. We've been friends for decades, and we worked on Floor 13, the original, together, and we worked on the remake Floor 13 Deep State recently, which is out on Steam, by the way, and you really should buy it because that's the kind of game people should be looking at. I like sci-fi, love sci-fi, and there are a lot of things in sci-fi that are bleak, that are dark, that are dystopian. And while I like that side of sci-fi, I also like the hope that I saw in a lot of the sci-fi of my childhood. I mean, what if we're in dystopia now? And what if the future can be better? It can be better. What if we're approaching the future with completely the wrong mindset? That everything's going to poop. I'm going to try not to swear. Poop is okay, right? I don't care. I'm going to say poop. Maybe the future isn't going to poop. Maybe something else is going to happen. I don't know. I'd like to explore that. I'd like to explore the idea that alien life and robots and AI won't turn out to be the bad guys. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. Maybe they're just like us. Who knows? But the reason I want to set off from Pandora is because that's where things started to go wrong for me in my dev career. I started to drink too much of my own Kool-Aid. I was turning into a bit of a big shot in the industry, or so I thought. I was a very respected developer, and it went to my head. I was young, what can I say? But I didn't do the job on Pandora that I wanted to do. And I don't know if I've ever recovered. So I want to fix that. And in doing so, fix me. Now, I always recommend prototyping. And I recommend to people who are pitching something that they have an idea of what they're making. I have no idea what I'm going to make. So why am I going against my own advice? Well, because as the famous quote goes, we don't write what we think. We write to find out what we're thinking. And that's exactly what I want to do here. Some of the greatest discoveries in history have not come about through planning and design documents and committees and strategy. They've come about because people did research. People played. Scientists played. They experimented. What are experiments? Play. And so I just want to experiment. I want to play. Now, I know what you're thinking. That means you're not going to finish a game. Well, Maybe. Who knows? But I've got to try. And I've got to try with a sense of freedom. And if I can't do that now, at my age, having been in this industry as long as I have, will I ever? I want to break all the rules because I can.